Welcome to Little Big Workshop. That's not Little Big Planet or any other game. This is a sort of factory simulator that came out on Steam right about the middle of October, and I sort of missed it then. I thought we'd give it a try now and see, well, what it's like. So yeah, obviously very cutesy graphics, but sort of very much, as you might imagine with this kind of game, lots of optimization and various workflows and all kinds of other stuff, including a really, really nice planning mode, which is very, very different to most games. Let's get started. I'll show you what we actually mean and see whether it's something that you want. As normal, this is not sponsored in any way. I paid for this with my own hard cash, and it's around £17.99 on Steam, or indeed other stores of your preference. So let's get started with the new game, and let's just call it, let's just say Greater. Why not? Let's get started. Very quick to load. Seems a bit film noirish, but they're not. So, but at least the soundtrack is quite relaxing. Okay, so camera movement, WSID as normal, and skip tutorial because I've already done this one in the previous game, but yeah, not going to worry about that. So yeah, we got this interface here. Let's go and see what this phone wants. Yep, so we need a workbench, and that's going to basically be the first part of the tutorial. So you get started with these 3 rooms, and you can sort of plan these rooms out however you like. However, we're going to need to basically set up a workstation, and we'll get into that planning mode very shortly. So let's get to this, and we just need, first of all, to grab the only workstation we can actually start with, which is a woodworking station. And use R to rotate, and I'm going to put this down, well, you know, should I actually put it in here, or should I put it in the other room? Interesting one. I think I'm going to put it in here. Yeah, let's put it there. Okay. And we can press order down here and then press 4. Well, in my case, it's 4. I've remapped the keys for pause, normal, fast forward, and ultra fast forward to 1 through 4. Much easier to actually do that kind of thing. They won't be used for anything else. I think they were already mapped to those 3. I already mapped pause. It was backslash, I think, originally. There we go. So we got the phone ringing again. We've got a workbench. Our stock of garden gnomes are getting pretty low. Can you make me a couple? No, yeah, I suppose so. And here we come to the planning mode. Now this is a very simple version, but as we get further in the game, they become more complicated. Let's just call it that way. Yes, this is the planning mode. This is how you design and preview each of your products. And basically, yeah, so square-shaped nodes are products or parts, and then the round ones are going to be the processes that we go through. Yeah, operations. And then that's the final product. So all we need to do for this first one is basically take a log, carve it, and then we end up with a wood gnome. Okay, so here we can right-click, choose link, choose our workstation, and then that basically lets us export. Now you should note over here it lets you change the amount that it does that. Don't worry about this initially for the tutorial, but when we get onto the market in a little while, you can choose the amount that you want to actually create to your own sort of your own preferences there, really. But to get started, we just press execute, and now we need to basically receive materials, and we're going to need somewhere to put them. So we're going to need a zone. Is it going to let me do that? Yeah, it is. There we go. So storage zone. Let's just put them here next to the door. Okay, and that will basically take in materials. We can get it delivered there. You can see what, here comes the materials, the logs, and they're going to get carved into gnomes. And here's our percentage completed at the top right. And there it is. So now we can press deliver, and a truck will come in to actually pick that up. Let's go into fast forward mode again, and in they come with the gnomes, and off it goes. Okay. So we need to look at our economy to see where we get. You can see our profits here. Payments received 3,150, and we spent 2,493. So we get a bit of profit. However, the more profit we get, we're going to be spending on more and more stuff in here for different things. And your workers are going to need to be kept happy. Yes, it's that kind of game. It's sort of like, I guess, Theme Hospital or 2-Point Hospital, and more modern version, I guess, of that kind of thing. But it's for workshops, which makes it a little bit different. Let's go and answer the phone again. He wants some shelves to put his gnomes on. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more difficult. So plan this product out. As you can see, it starts to become a little more complicated. Now, it's what to say about attributes. The attributes basically are your targets. And from what I can see so far, there's no harm in going over them. You just don't want to go under them. Okay, so we have a target of 2 for the top one and 10 for the bottom one. And that's style and durability. Currently, we're at 2 to 4, 6 to 10, so that's 6 to 12, I should say. So we want to make sure we're at 10 if we possibly can do. So let's just try and get there. So it says here, choices with a red background impossible to match requirements. So we need to choose this one. Okay, which means I need to go backwards a few steps because that's going to be a bit more complicated. Basically, I want to get this sort of top part of the shelf, I guess, the bracket section of the shelf. Is that the bracket? Shelf support, yeah. So I need to actually craft a plain piece of wood, which I'm then going to jigsaw into the supports. So we need to start back here somewhere and choose. Now I can choose anything I like as far as quality is concerned. I'm going to go for the higher quality, which is a bit more expensive, but hey, that'll give me a better chance, hopefully, of getting things done. So I'm going to basically attach that to our workbench. And over here, I'm going to attach it to the workbench again. Go in here. Choose the same thing there, and the chain the same thing there. Okay. Now we've got a problem. We don't have a workstation that can deal with that. All it basically is take your 2 shelf supports, jam them onto the bottom of the shelf, you're done. But no, we apparently need a workbench for that, so we're going to need to basically craft one, or at least order one, an assembly station. Okay, and those I'm going to actually just put on this back wall here. And I'm going to rotate. We will need more than one of them, but let's just get started with one. And I'll press fast forward, and then that will get delivered. It will when I press the order button. That's 2,805, so you can imagine each one of those is fairly expensive to actually get. Okay, so back into planning mode we go. We can click on here, choose the assembly workstation, and execute. Okay, so everything is now complete. At least in the initial version, and we're ready to start going. Uh-oh. One of the workers ran out of energy and collapsed. This is not like an Edison-based factory. You will continue working until my products are done. So unfortunately, we need to keep them happy. We can't do anything other than that. So we need to design a break room for them. And let's just put that in here. So we can just put a coffee machine, and that's not going to be enough, but we can get the coffee machine started. We're going to need probably a snack machine. Why not? Yeah, that would be quite nice. And then maybe somewhere radio, chessboard, game console. How about just a break table to get us started? So why don't we just put the break table sort of there. Yeah, that should do. I'll order that as well. Fast forward. We're now on 13656, so that costs like six grand or something like that, or more. Off they come. Here they come with our break room. And you have to dedicate a room for the break room, by the way. You can't just shove them in a corner so they have like a really short path in between. Just give them coffee right next to their workstation. Evil, yes, but that would certainly shorten things. Regardless, they're going to get started. Okay. And are you actually going to get up off the floor? Hopefully you are. There you are. Off you go. Maybe you should take a break next time. And they're going to start manufacturing the shelves. Over here it is, and we're on full fast forward. And you can see our dismal amount of money going out for that whole thing. But they have a break. And they're ready to keep going. And they're now closing in on the end, so we can press deliver now. A truck's en route, it's going to pick everything up. And that should be that done. So we get some money back. And how much money we get back? We got 2,500 back, and we basically had 3,000 go out. Fine, we need to do better than that. Let's go and see what he says. Gnomes and shelves. I reckon I'm set for a while. I'll get back to you later if something new comes up. Meanwhile, you should check the market. There are lots of other folks around here that needs all kinds of supplies. Laters. Okay, onto the market we go, and we get various different products that we can actually serve. So it's just going to give us a brief tutorial here saying, oh, why don't you think about maybe making a sandbox kit? Well, up here it says what stations you need, and that needs plastic workstations, and it needs mass production, which we don't have yet. Price and demand. So price is middle of the range, demand is really bottom of the range. No one wants this stuff. Okay. And those are the attributes to your target. Okay, so this product isn't very desirable, so let's choose one of the other ones. A doggo house. Why don't you want a doggo house? Well, the price is rising and the demand is 65 units. Okay, so that's pretty good. Why don't we plan that one out? Here we go again, same thing. Operation, we can choose each one of these. Remember, our target is 1 for 4, so we want this top one, I think, which it also happens to have a 1 for 4 rather than the 4 for 1, and then we can just link this to our existing workstation, and then the top one, the same thing again. Why don't we just go for that one, link this out, and then finally link these together. Okay, and now it says select target amount to 7 products. It says demand is 65, but let's just choose what the tutorial tells us just to get us started. And we need to now to just change this over a little bit. It's going to tell us how to split things up among multiple workstations. Okay, so we need to basically do that. So I'm going to want to get another workbench, another assembling station, I should say. Okay, we'll order that, bring it in. I'm going to need more bays. Takes them too long to bring it in. There we go. Here's our new workstation. Okay, so now we can go to here and we can split this into two. It's 2 equal parts. And the second one we can then reassign to the second workstation. And we need to grab another worker to actually basically get it going. So let's recruit another person. And they should be coming in. So they can work side by side with 2 assembly stations from the one original woodworking workbench. Okay, so they've sold out and he'll pay us absolutely anything. Usually a good sign in terms of how much we actually can get out of this, but this has already got everything remembered, I think, so we can just basically say execute. And now we can reprioritize this by shoving it to the top. And now they should all take over and we need to wait for our materials to come in when that's ready. We may be running out of storage space at some point soon, but that's going to come up, I think, in part of the tutorial. But for now, that is ongoing. And in fact, we can just change that, actually. If I just go to here, click on this move, I right-click on it, click this move, I can then basically drag it and drag it this way. I don't think there's any problem with actually doing that. Using it as floor space, at least I hope not. Let's fast forward, and off they go, 66%. And it should be heading up towards finishing just fine. There we go, deliver. And they're here to pick up the gnomes. Okay, check your relations with the customers. Crazy Steve Enterprises, cheap, small orders, random and crazy. And yep, that's perfectly fine. We're halfway up the acquaintance thing, which I presume is just like reputation sort of meter. And how's our economy going? Yeah, it's nice and positive that we're getting stuff in. It's still around 15 grand. We're going to want more than that, but of course we're still waiting for that other thing to complete, 89%. So let's just fast forward that. There we go, ready to be sold to the general market. Open the market and then press deliver. So we should get 3 grand from that, or 3,200, I think. And there it goes. So we're 18,349. So yeah, we've pretty much got all that done. Inspect your workstation. Okay, we need to maintain it. It's looking like it's sparking. How that's happening on a workbench, wooden workbench, I don't know. Well, maybe there's just some tools, a drill on there, etc. So we just basically need to repair it. Fine, no problem. There it goes. And the repair should be done. Okay. And our career progress. Graduate from the in-game tutorial. There we go. So that's the in-game tutorial part. Now let's go and take a look at some of the other parts that we can actually make, some of the other products we can make. Next sort of challenges are complete at least 3 client challenges, deliver more than 100 products. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the market, I think. Okay, a square table. A tribute to cubes and the beauty of boxes, 90-degree corners everywhere, and not a single embellishment. The perfectly engineered table. I like it. Okay, so can we get to 811 durability and 6 in style? This is premium, and it's got a really high sort of demand, and the price is growing quite substantially. Can we actually build it, however? That's more the interesting point. So let's get started and see if it actually will let us. So let's just increase this in terms of its original sort of quality and durability. And that's going to go here. And then we just need to basically choose this and do the same thing. Choose this here. And, well, we don't have really any of that. I've only got wood. But this lets us buy metal legs. Okay. We're currently at 4 to 14 and we want to target 11. So I'm going to want to get some of these anyway. Interesting. Why don't we just go for that? Okay, so I am going to need another station. Okay, and I can actually get a small foundry. It's going to cost me 2.5, but let's go for that. I guess this is going to be our metal working room. And let's get that ordered. Okay, and that should be completed shortly. Yep, there is our forge, sort of. Foundry, I guess you want to call it. Yep. I assume that's supposed to be a mold making equipment, but yeah, a little bit odd, but never mind. It is cartoony, so we'll let them off with that. Where's that product again? So here we are. So let's plan this out. There we go. Can that actually do the job? Reconfiguration will be done before the job. Fine. And what about you? Can I do anything here? Metalworking station. Okay. I will order that as well. Decoration items for your room to make your work more efficient. Interesting. I didn't look at that before. Got it. Plants. Signs. Shrubbery, street lamps. Well, why don't we just put a... Can we put a street lamp outdoors? Seems like it's useful. And then maybe indoors we'll put a couple of potted plants or something. Ooh, 225 gold from potted plant. Okay, workstation. Although they do... Yeah, they do give nicer sort of benefits for each of them. So let's put one there. And we'll probably want something here as well. So why don't we just put a potted plant there? Cool. And we'll order them. And then fast forward. Yep, those are how they're going to assemble those with boxes. I don't know, but hey, then back to our planning mode. Can we actually get everything done now? There is that step. And is that everything? Do we need to choose something here? Our initial sort of, yeah, our initial metal. If you look like a nodule, so that's all the nodes leading up to it. Got it. That's fine. And then assembly. We can assemble it back here. And that's fine. We can choose an amount to actually make. So you can see here how much I will make and how much I will profit from each of these things. So if we just increase this a little bit, you can see we can make a fairly large amount, but of course it'll take time to actually, you know, process. So I'm just going to go for, let's just go for 5 for the moment and get it started. And of course we're in fast forward mode. So off they come. And I think I'm going to fast forward you through because, hey, that's going slower than I expected. And here they're done. So let's go to the open market and see if we can actually sell these things. We're going to get 4,500 for 5 of these things. So that can go and get delivered. And we'll come back out of the market. I've moved this, basically this zone, so they're not continually walking over it all the time. It seems they don't like obstructions in any way. I need more room. I don't have enough room in this place. I need like a small break room and a large other room. I suppose we could make this a break room, but that would mean they were always traveling through it. So yeah, either way, that's going to be fine. So how's our rankings? We are, well, higher. Well, no, we're not higher. In fact, we're terrible. By comparison, our revenue's higher though, so I guess that will actually do. And our workers are getting leveled up, it looks like. Yeah, worker rank lets you specialize workers. Okay, and research and development. Used to upgrade and improve your factory. Each upgrade may cost varying amounts of upgrade points. Good, we got some kind of upgrades here. So, billboards linked to workstations together allows you to control assign jobs to them as a group rather than individually. That's quite nice. We can attach both of those together, basically. Storage management, we can use special zones and export and workstation zones. So, export zone we could put right next to the door. I only have 1 point. I'm just going to have that. I want that. Can I just take it? Yeah. Okay. And that's that point gone. And then we're ready to go back for more. So can we just continue to make more of this stuff? It will let us make more, I guess. We already have the plan for it. Although, hang on, that's restarting me again. Did I not save that? That is the same product I've already made. It would be really nice if I could just... Oh, wait a second. Did I click on the wrong one? Anyway, I can make 5 more and get some more profit. Off we go. And as before. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So here you can see I created another zone and I chose that to be the export zone, which I assume will mean will be whatever the completed tables get moved to. So if we just fast forward this a little bit, we should see once they start assembling stuff back here into the final table, which won't take them very long, or at least to get the first table, with the 36% of the way through. Hopefully one of them at some point soon will go and make a table and stop taking breaks. What do you think this is? Some kind of cartoon workshop? And there you go. They moved into this general storage and then over into this one. So I think in normal cases, we can set the priority, but here we're already basically telling it that it's the export. So that's all fine as far as that's concerned. If anyone has any tips about the others, about workstation versus general storage, do put them in the comments down below. But otherwise, we're nearly all the way through this job. So we've got a couple of tables, but everything else is being worked. And of course, we can choose to add some more workers if we want to speed things up a little bit. But in fact... yeah, why don't we just do that? Another operator. Recruit. And let's see if that speeds things up a lot more. And there our products have just been delivered, and we've just got up to 16,500 now. We did just get a challenge in the market. It's just popped up, so this is a new thing. It's basically saying, I want a large shelves. Okay, we need 15 units. And we have 3 days as a deadline. Okay, so let's create a plan and let's see if we can actually do this inside 3 days. So again, we're going to do this as before. We do have the ability to just get this shelf support done. So let's just try the metal shelf support. And let's just try that from metal rods or from this. Well, I could do with more style than I need durability. Although that's just too many processes. Yeah, that's too many processes. I want this to be as quick as possible, ideally. So I rechanged, well, basically you hit this node and press delete and it just resets everything. I changed across to doing wood only, no metal whatsoever, and that brought the work time down to 2 days. With metal, that was set up at 8 days. That's beyond our capabilities. So let's get this started and let's see if we can actually manage to deal with it. So in comes our truck, and yep, there we go. We're off to a good start. A lot of it is using this particular workbench, however. So I think in future, what I may want to do is move this plant. Can I move it now? Can I move it? Yes, I can. Okay. We'll move that. There it goes. And maybe we'll actually just get this, a second woodworking station. Let's just see if we can get our assembly station, woodworking station. There we go. Rotate. And that will fit. And you can see when you hover over them, just how much effect things have. So right now that plant is helping a little bit, but it's being counteracted by everything else. And then, well, none of this actually affects things. But yeah. That's fine. We can order that woodworking station. We'll just get another plant. In it comes. And are we blocked? There's 2 days, 2 hours. That's the deadline. Fine. And then what I'm going to do is just slow things down and do as it says. Remember we had these things and we've got basically lots of this thing to basically... So let's just move this onto this workbench. And then we can do things in parallel, which is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, and now there's 2 of them working simultaneously. And then I think that, well, let's just see on this front. 13, we're going to split that. Okay. And then we'll move it to the other one. So that, again, is using 2 in parallel here, 2 in parallel here. And hopefully that will be done in time. We'll see. That's going to fast forwards. And there we go. Ready to be picked up. Press deliver. And there are all of our shelves. Off they go. And hopefully that's the challenge complete. Yep, so that's that done. And let's bring ourselves into pause. Crazy Steve. We've leveled up with Crazy Steve. Our workers have also basically leveled up. Yeah, we don't want to fire them. Specialize your workers, click for choices. What do we want to specialize them in? We can't. Oh, we've got to unlock that via... Okay, we've got to unlock it via other means. Fine. How about our research tree? Now we should be able to batch things up automatically. Billboards in the shop. Okay. And then we can hopefully be able to construct them. Is the billboard in here? Scrap container billboard. Distribute jobs to link workstations of the same kind. Oh, that's going to take up room. I just don't have enough room for this kind of thing. I guess what I'm going to do is... Oh, wow. Yeah, let's just let's just move this out a little bit. And let's just move over here. Maybe in a little bit as well. At least for now. Yeah, and they can all access it, although it's not going to be big enough for that. And then let's just put a couple of billboards in and see if we can resize everything else. So billboards, we're going to want that one there. Okay, and we need to order it. Let's fast forward. Okay, and now we need to configure it. So we link a couple of workstations. That's one. And link a second one. So linked workstations, that's fine. And do we need to do anything else? Can I just move this billboard to anywhere? I mean, what if I just put it over here somewhere? Does it need to be anywhere nearby? If not, cool. Let's fast forward. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for now. And that's going to be the end of this episode. If you're interested in seeing more of this game, do let me know in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up, like, etc. And yeah, I think it's all right so far. But we'll see how far this expands outwards into what huge factories we get to make or not, indeed, as the case may be. Thanks a lot for watching, as always, guys. This has been Little Big Workshop, not Planet. I keep trying to say Planet. And we'll see you next time. As always, thanks for watching.